All right. Well, first off, Coach Shaheen Holloway, obviously the head coach of St. Peter's. You guys have, the country has come to learn, obviously, about St. Peter's and Coach Holloway and yourself. You know, I know Shaheen Holloway as a teenage kid growing up in New Jersey as a high school basketball legend. I grew up in Wayne, New Jersey. I remember watching St. Pat's and those elite basketball powerhouses in New Jersey. So to start us off, just give our viewers an insight about what did the youth basketball scene, AAU training, ABCD camps, I mean, all that stuff that we all knew back in New Jersey. Just give our viewers a little insight into what the youth basketball scene leading up to your time at St. Patrick's looked like for you.
Well, it definitely played a big part. First of all, thank you guys for having me on. That's the first thing. Second, it played a big part, in my development. Obviously playing youth basketball, AAU, growing up. First thing is that it kept me out of trouble, out of the streets. Second thing, it kept me, it had me work on my skills, on my craft. Showcase my talent. Got me in front of different people to give me the opportunity to come to New Jersey, because I'm from New York, to come into New Jersey, to come to high school, St. Pat's. And then from there, you're going out playing, and then, you get playing in front of college scouts and give you the opportunity to go to college.
Yeah, so how did you? So obviously you grew up in Queens, New York, and then you go on to a legendary career in New Jersey at St. Pat's, at one of the top programs in the entire country. For sure, one of the top programs in New Jersey. So what did that journey look like for you? Did they come looking for you? Was this something that happened in middle school or maybe through an AAU coach? Or how did you end up at St. Pat's?
A little of both. I was playing with a team called Primetime out of New York. We came to play in a tournament in Orange Park. And the coaches from St. Pat's was there, along with the AAU coach, Sandy Payoni, who runs the Roadrunners.
I know the Roadrunners. I know Sandy Payoni.
Yeah, and they saw me play, and from there, they was coming out, talking to me, trying to get me to come to Jersey, and it just so happened that my godmother stayed in Hillside, New Jersey. So when the time came to go to high school, we could kind of figure out that's probably was the best thing for me to get out the city. I was getting in a little minor trouble and stuff like that. So I came out here and went to high school at St. Pat's, was playing for the Roadrunners for 4 years, and I took it from there.
Yeah, for anyone listening to this, the Roadrunners in New Jersey, if you're playing for the Roadrunners and Sandy, you are an elite, top-notch basketball player in the high school ranks. I mean, I can recall going to AAU games to watch the Roadrunners, going to watch St. Anthony's and St. Pat's. And for anyone who didn't grow up in North Jersey or understand that basketball scene, it's as good as anything in the country. So my next question, Coach, is when you look at the scene today, and you compare it to what you went through, like you just described as a young kid growing up in Queens, getting your opportunity to go to St. Patrick's. When you go out and recruit kids today, how similar or different does the basketball scene, AAU, with specialization and more year-round play, like is it similar to what you experienced? Has the landscape changed? Yeah, please tell us.
It's much different. Back then there was a very small selective teams. Right now, it seems like everybody has a team.
Right.
So it was like you had to have a certain skill set to be on the team, because it wasn't many teams. So those teams was kind of like all-star teams, right?
Right.
Now it's like there's 1,000 AAU programs. So when you go out, you gotta know who you're targeting, whether it's through social media or whether it's through somebody that knows somebody, or whether through you see the coaches going out and watching kids and scouting them, and then they bring it back to you, and you go out and scout them and see if they're good enough. So it changed a lot when I was growing up to now, a whole lot. It's just more. I think it's more opportunity, but which I think is good.
Yeah, and I think, Albert, that's a big part of this show is we're all of our viewers, our parents, our coaches, they're listening and they're trying to understand this landscape. And as you just pointed out, the landscape that you and I grew up in the 90s, the mid 90s, me in early 2000s, and now what we're seeing for these kids. So you talk about going out and recruiting, and you talk about being out there on the scene and going to watch AAU games. I know you're still very connected back at St. Pat's and being around that. So give our viewers a little insight. What if I want to send my kid to come play for you at St. Peter's, like what is the culture at St. Peter's? What are the core principles that you want your recruits, the kids that you want to come play for you. Like, give us a little insight now into how you built St. Peter's to the team we all have seen on the national stage the last 2 weeks. What is at the core of that philosophy?
You know what? It's simple. You know, when I go look at, you know, kids play, young adults play, I like to call them kids, young adults play. You know, I look for a few things. One, I look for, are they good teammates, right? Are they good people? How they interact when they come out the game. Do you go to the end of the bench? Do you put your head down? Are you clapping for your teammates? You know, are you coachable? You know, because there's a lot of young adults that's very talented out there. But me, I'm not looking for the best player. I'm looking for the right person that's to fit in my program. You know, we got the core value here. We go by the 3 Ds. You know, and that's discipline, desire, and dedication. You know, like, that's important. That's how I built this off those 3 Ds. And if you got to me, if you got those 3 Ds in your life, you're gonna be very successful. I built this on. I want student athletes, not just athletes. You know, here at St. Peter's, my team has a 3.5 GPA. So I want kids to want to get an education, to like school. Most of my guys graduate in 3 years. Why? Because I want that 4th year they could go to grad school and start grad school and you know, learn a different trade or learn something different. You know, I'm looking for, you know, young gentlemen that, you know, I tell guys all the time, if you mess around off the court, you'll mess around on the court. So that stuff goes hand in hand. You know, so to answer your question, I'm looking for all around scholars.
It's so funny.
I want to do it. Yeah.
No, I think it's so telling. I think something when I played in league for a while, I had a coach that told us, hey, how you do some things is how you're going to do everything, right? We can't let you overlook. Yeah, that might seem small, that off the field, that classroom, you know, how you interact with the teacher, how you interact with a parent or whatever. How you act is how you act. And you don't get to just apply it to small things and then think it's not going to affect the big things. I think that's super important for people to hear.
Yeah, it's important, man. You know, I mean, it's important, man. You know, and those are the things that, you know, we stress here at St. Peter's. You know, you got to go out there. And like I said, we live by the 3 Ds. And I promise you, man, if you have the discipline, the desire, and the dedication in your life, you're going to be very successful.
No question. And before we talk about real quick this weekend's big Sweet 16 matchup, one last thing I wanted to cover before we end on that. So you go to Seton Hall, you know, you decide to stay in Jersey. You take Seton Hall, the last New Jersey college. I don't know if a lot of people know this, and obviously you do. You know, obviously St. Peter's, the previous best New Jersey team who made it to a Sweet 16 was a team led by a point guard named Shaheen Holloway in 2000. You take Seton Hall to the Sweet 16. You finish your career there. You play professionally for a long time. And then you make the decision to get into coaching. You go back and you start before your time at Iona. You start back at Seton Hall. Talk a little bit about your influences. What made you decide to go back and play? Was it something about your upbringing, something about maybe a certain coach that you had along the way that inspired you, that you thought you can make such an impact on the coaching scene like you have?
Yeah, you know what? You know, I always wanted to, you know, that was always part of the plan, to, you know, be a coach after I was finished playing. It kind of happened a little earlier than I thought. For the fact I stopped playing to take care of my daughter. But no, someone gave me a chance. Someone believed in me, you know, when I didn't believe in myself. So I wanted the opportunity to do that for someone, or for younger people. And that's what the plan was, to do that. And then, you know, once you get in, now you become more than a coach. You know, you become a big brother figure, a father figure. You know, those things are, to me, is very important. I take those things very serious. A lot of guys that play for me come from a single parent home, or don't have parents at all. So they look to you for guidance. And around that age of 18 to 22, I think that's the most important age in a young person's life, to grow. You know, so they, you know, people send their kids to us to help them grow as in my case, as young men, because, you know, I'm a men's basketball coach. So, you know, that's important to us.
So is it fair to say, and I'd love to hear it in your words, is it fair to say that you believe your biggest impact has nothing to do with the actual basketball? If you could say, I'm making the greatest impact on my players' lives off the court, and that brings a lot more value.
I think it's a combination of both. I'll be sitting here telling you a story, but I don't think it's both. I think it's definitely both. but a large part of it is outside of basketball for sure.
Yep.
Because I'm very demanding as a coach. Like I don't play games. Like you're not gonna, not give me 100% because I give you 200%. Like you're not gonna go to class. Like those things are not like those are non-negotiable. So you're not gonna show up. Like you're gonna go to class, show up 15 minutes early. You're gonna sit in front of the class. You're gonna take notes. You're gonna have your hat off. You have your phone and your book bag. Like all those old school value things, I take very serious.
I just think it's so important for all the parents and the coaches that are followers and watch this show. The last thing, Coach, before I let you go, and again, your time today is so precious, and for you to take time to speak with us here on You Think, it means a great deal. So obviously, probably the biggest week of your coaching career, if not your basketball career, of your life and whatnot. But you're getting ready to play Purdue on Friday, Sweet 16. You guys have been the talk of the nation. Just give everybody a little look into what does this week look like? What does the prep? I mean, you try to keep it as routine and regular as possible within the madness of what's happening around the tournament and obviously around your story. So just give us an idea of what the week of prep looks like as you guys get ready to play Purdue on Friday in the Sweet 16.
Well, first of all, there's a lot going on, so I got to make sure my guys are humble, appreciative, right, of this opportunity, with everything that's going on. With all the media and the hype they're getting, it's definitely something that they deserve and earn. But I got to make sure they stay humble. I got to make sure we keep the noise and the crowd away. And then, school's in, right? Continue to keep doing what we've been doing. Nothing changed. Still go to school, still go to study hall, still go to class. Still got weight room, still got practice. Try to keep it normal as possible. Because when you start doing things that's not normal, that's when things start changing. You know what I mean?
So you guys will do all of your prep this week, back at school, attend class, do everything like a normal week. And then you guys will head to go play in the Sweet 16, when, on Thursday?
Wednesday night, because we got to be there Thursday morning for open practice for the fans to come watch. So we got to be there Thursday morning for that. So we'll leave late. We'll leave Wednesday evening. Wednesday evening.
So these next 48 hours, you guys have a lot to do. Well, Coach, in that thought, you got 48 hours before you guys take off for just such a well-deserved, such an unbelievable story. You've captivated the entire country as a fellow. I know you're from New York, but I'm going to just for now claim New Jersey and say, I heard you talk glowingly about your kids from Jersey and New York, that they don't back down to anybody. You guys weren't worried about getting pushed around last week. And hearing that press conference brought a lot of pride to me. I had a bunch of Jersey buddies text me like, "Did you hear what Coach said?" I said, "Absolutely." So we're cheering for you. The fact that you took time to come speak with us and share some insight into your story, your coaching philosophies, your time growing up playing basketball. You've captivated the country. St. Peter's has captivated the country. And everybody here at You Think, man, we're cheering you on, Coach. And we wish you nothing but success moving forward.
No, I definitely appreciate it, man. And thank you guys for having me on. I love what you're doing with what you guys are doing over there. It's big time. Keep doing it. The youth definitely needs it. Anything that I could do, please don't hesitate.
You got it, Coach. Best of luck to you guys. The entire country, I feel like, is cheering for you guys. So enjoy this week. You earned it. And best of luck.
Thank you so much. Have a good one.
Take care, Coach.